The definition of a renegade is a person who deserts and betrays an organization, country, or set of principles. Synonyms include, but are not limited to, traitor, defector, deserter, betrayer, and rebel, just to name a few. According to SM Entertainment, this album consists of a total of 3 English songs, including the title song of the same name, Renegade. The title song Renegade is a rock-based hip-hop song, and the lyrics are about the aspiration to walk one's own path without hesitation through changes for the better and a stronger inner self. What this could potentially represent is Lucas is rejecting the things that are preventing him from pursuing his dreams, his aspirations in life, amongst the many obstacles he is subjected to and trying to free himself of. In order to fully understand the potential concept and ideas that Lucas is trying to convey with his solo debut, we need to also understand the controversy surrounding him as well. As far as we know, Lucas was accused of gaslighting, infidelity and using his alleged exes for monetary purposes. Also, I want to reiterate that he was not accused of any form of SA. Although the documentary he released did not directly address the accusations against him, the original accusations do not indicate any misconduct in that regard. I think that by releasing a song, nearly 3 years after his hiatus, and calling the title track Renegade, there is an expectation to make a very bold statement in line with the song's description that SM provided. But it doesn't help that SM and Lucas are being vague and dancing around the questions many people have about his controversy over what his actions actually entail. There are mixed reactions to Lucas's return to music, and some people are being irrational with their outward hate towards Lucas, even going as far as to making jokes about him being unalive and the threats his family also received. While Lucas is receiving genuine support, he too has detractors that will continue to voice negative opposition towards Lucas. To some people, having a song called Renegade, regardless of the implications and what Lucas might be actually trying to convey, is something that many are not latching onto immediately. Aside from the controversy, let's try to gain some sort of understanding of what Renegade could possibly symbolize. I personally theorize that this single album is Lucas's Reputation era, in the vein of Taylor Swift. Taylor's album was created in light of the public scrutiny that she was facing online and in the media. Some of the songs she created were written in the same point of view of the characters she wrote from the perspective of in her song Blank Space. While it's too early to call, I think thematically Renegade could share parallels to Taylor's Reputation album and some of the songs on Ariana Grande's Eternal Sunshine album. Renegade is a personification of Lucas's public image in light of his recent controversy. But what do lyrics about the aspiration to walk one's own path without hesitation through changes for the better and a stronger inner self, for a song called Renegade symbolize in regard to Lucas's reputation and his overall outlook going forward? Your aspiration is something that you wish for and yearn to possibly achieve in the foreseeable future. Under the potential context of this song, you are making your ambitions known to change parts of yourself in an effort to become a better version of yourself, something that Lucas did allude to in his documentary, despite its overall vagueness regarding his controversy. Thus, indicating that Lucas is shedding his old self, but can in turn not even be a true reflection of himself or the actions he is being accused of doing. Could Renegade be a declaration to renounce his past actions and the things he once believed in? I guess the point I'm trying to make is we don't seem to have a full understanding of who Lucas is as a person. The only people who truly know Lucas, besides himself, are the people closest to him, which are his family, his friends, or the people who work with him. His public image as a celebrity is either a contradiction to his true self or only a small fraction of his true identity. Personally, I don't think that this single album will give us an understanding of who Lucas is as a person. I think Renegade will represent the person Lucas is striving to be, which could be someone who wants to make his family proud and his supporters happy, but I also think it will represent parts of his convictions and his worldview within the context of his solo activities. He is making a public declaration that he will not let the projections of the people who do not know him, and that want to believe the absolute worst of him, define his identity because he knows himself better than his detractors. He's renouncing the dehumanization of K-pop idols that he too is still subjected to this day. He is rejecting the negativity surrounding him in light of his controversy so that he can be his authentic self. I don't think he is being a renegade in the literal sense of the word, but rather he is shedding a part of himself that is preventing him from reaching his full potential and his goals as an artist and a person. I don't think he's advocating for a social or political issue within this context, but it will most likely be him going down a different path in life that is not universally taken in order to achieve a sense of fulfillment, the serenity that he longs for as he retreats from all of the negativity surrounding his public image and regarding his personal life. I also believe renegade to be a reclamation of words like betrayer, traitor, and defector. Because at the end of the day, in order to achieve serenity, one must make sacrifices, especially to protect one's mental health. What those sacrifices look like is up to the person in question, and in this case, is up to Lucas to determine for himself. He has to make choices in order to achieve the goals he wants to pursue. He must desert or leave something behind. Again, what that requires is solely up to him because this is his life, and these are the decisions he has to make. To be a renegade, one must go against, or betray an organization, country, or set of principles. A principle is a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief or behavior or for a chain of reasoning. Through his solo debut, Lucas is making the declaration that he will go against the principles he placed onto himself, or recontextualize them to apply to his current outlook on life post his situation. Lastly, regarding the choice for Renegade to be a hip-hop song with rock influences, I also believe that this was most likely intentional to express the message of the song that Lucas wishes to convey. Over time, several genres in music, given the contexts that they were in at the time, were once considered rebellious, because it deviated from societal norms and what was deemed widely acceptable. According to Aaron Morrison of AP News, hip-hop has been an integral part of social and racial justice movements. It's also been scrutinized by law enforcement and political groups because of their belief that hip-hop and its artists encourage violent criminality. So, in this context, the rebellious nature of hip-hop stemmed from being a platform for various artists to speak against many of the injustices in society before the genre evolved into other subjects being explored today. On the flip side, rock had signified rebellion and young people's rejection of their parents' music, attitudes, and expectations. Punk rock, which is a subgenre of rock music, was used as a vehicle critiquing societal norms. I think that Renegade being a hip-hop and rock-based song allows Lucas to double down on the sentiments of wanting to go against a set of principles in order to change for the better. Because rock and hip-hop were once considered genres that were symbolic of the changes in social attitudes and deviated from the societal norms at the time. In conclusion, I think Renegade will represent Lucas's convictions to change parts of himself in a clear effort that represents ideas of self-reclamation, an aspiration to rise above all forms of negativity, and the renouncing of one's past self. While I personally don't believe we will gain a full understanding of who Lucas is, I think through his debut single album, we will see his current outlook on life, how he views the world around him, and how he views himself. I also think we will gain a bit of an understanding from an artistic standpoint of how his hiatus and his controversy affected him emotionally. And through the incorporation of rock and hip-hop in the title song of the same name, this will most likely be a cathartic experience for Lucas. With that being said, if you decide not to support any of Lucas's solo endeavors, this is totally fine. But what is not okay is the normalization and continued indulgence in the negative, racist, colorist, and outright offensive hate comments that are targeting Lucas to this day. What is also not acceptable is the distortion of the truth and the spreading of misinformation surrounding Lucas's situation. Otherwise, the best thing to do is to either ignore Lucas or support him for the time being, until the full truth is revealed. For a company who has not only been complacent in the treatment of their artists, but also has time and time again shown a lack of support systems that protect their artists, SM clearly knows far more about the truth of Lucas's situation, if it means that they are willing to keep him on their roster of artists. I wish Lucas a successful solo career, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and please stay safe. Thank you for watching this video.